Hey yo, what's up? My name is Dr. Ali Kamila. Welcome back to another episode of Health Data Dialogue podcast. In today's session, we are going to dive into the episode 2 of ethics, transparency, and accountability in the use and safeguarding of personal health data. Okay, we have Mr. Henry Matayo together with Miss Vivian, who are the ambassadors of the campaign My Data, Our Health. And today's session, I will pose some questions to them and they will answer considerably. Welcome again. This is Health Data Dialogue Podcast. My first question goes to Miss Vivian. Can you talk a little about ethical considerations surrounding the use of personal health data?
Thank you so much for having me on today's session on your podcast. It is a pleasure to be here and discuss these critical topics surrounding personal health data and talking about ethics and personal health data, honestly, you've touched upon a very crucial point regarding the value and sensitivity of a person's health data. Well, because it's just not information, it's a data reflection of our most intimate aspects of health, and the ethical considerations around the concept are particularly relevant, and it is essential to ensure individuals have agency over their data and understand how it is going to be used. So striking the right balance between individual privacy and public health advancement is indeed a challenging risk.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Miss Vivian. Next question goes to Mr. Henry Matayo. In your view, what are some of the potential challenges that arise when balancing the ethical use of personal health data with the need for research and innovation in healthcare sector?
Thank you, Dr. Kamila, for inviting me in this podcast today. I'm honored to be part of this podcast for sure. Coming to your question, it's very tricky because we need innovation in order to solve different challenges in health sector. At the same time, we need to ensure that those data that they're using, they need to consider data privacy, which is tricky in health sector. What I can say as young innovator and entrepreneur in health sector, what you need to do is set rules to control data access. Innovation is good, it's not bad, because we're innovating new ideas in order to solve different challenges in the health sector. So what I can advise that we can set rules. This is going to affect the policymakers. So the policymakers and we as youth, we need to encourage them to set rules that they are going to govern this data, to make sure that they're not going to the wrong people. Some people, they may use those data for commercial purposes, but what we need to do, we need to make sure that we are safeguarding those data, because those data, they're presenting different details or information for the different people. So what you need to ensure, that data is confidential and there is maximum data privacy.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henry Matayo, for answering the question very correctly. I agree with you. It's true that innovation is very important. Also, research is very important. But what we need to do is to ensure maximum security and the privacy of data, to ensure its maximum confidentiality, because people may use data for business purposes, and some may use personal data which they store to do issues which will be illegal, to the person owning the data. So the next question goes back to Miss Vivian. Miss Vivian, can you talk about the role of transparency in building trust between data collectors, users, and the community?
Well, also on the part of transparency and trust, well, transparency is absolutely key when it comes to building trust in handling of personal health data. As a medical personnel, I am taught of confidentiality of my patient's information. That means from the beginning, building rapport to treatment and management, I should be really confident in keeping the data of my patients with me without having to breach any information that is upon them unless otherwise given consent. If organizations are really clear about their data practices and genuinely engage with the users, it can go a long way in establishing the trust, because it's not about being honest, but also about ensuring that people can easily understand what they are consenting to. Like, what am I consenting to? Am I consenting to my data being spread all over? Am I consenting for my data to be used for scientists, researchers, so it can benefit other people? What am I consenting to? And we should move towards a more clear and more user-friendly approach in data sharing, so that it can be more easily for someone to be flexible enough to actually share and consent to sharing their data.
Okay, very good. Very, very good. Can you give us an insight on how policymakers and politicians can create accountability frameworks to protect data and gain public trust?
On the part of accountability and frameworks, accountability is a multifaceted issue. It has so many pictures, it has so many sides, and I'm glad that you've highlighted the role of policymakers, governments, being top in leading people that are supposed to manage this. And governments really need to take a proactive stance in regulating data collection and usage. These regulations should be backed by robust penalties for non-compliance. So independent oversight is critical to prevent conflicts of interest and ensure that the rules are followed. Yeah, because if there's no way or mechanism to actually regulate or to make people accountable for being against what has been put to be done, it will be not easy for the accountability framework to actually, keep on the move. And public-private partnerships can indeed lead to innovative solutions that prioritize data security while driving medical progresses. And conclusively, it is an exciting yet a challenging time in the world of personal health data, and we're on the cusp of revolutionary advancements, but also it's vital that we protect individual rights and privacy in this journey. And I encourage everyone to stay informed, engage in discussions, and advocate for responsible data practices. Together we can harness the potential of personal health data while respecting individual privacy and ethics. So thank you very much for inviting me into this podcast session as we are advocating for my data, our health. And I'm proud to be an ambassador coming from Tanzania under Imara Leadership and Transform Health and other leading organization in this project. I feel it was a crucial and very yet important topic to actually elaborate and talk about, and I'm glad that I've put my sense into it. So thank you so much.
I agree with Miss Vivian. It's true that policymakers and politicians play a great role in ensuring accountability, ethics, and transparency in the use of personal health data, because they are the ones who create those rules. Okay, for the last question, Mr. Henley, how can improved accountability mechanisms not only safeguard individuals' health data, but also foster a culture of trust and responsibility within the broader data collection and management ecosystem?
Thank you, Dr. Ali. I think what we can do, making sure people's health information is safe by being open about how it's going to be used, by getting the permission, like asking someone, is it okay to share this secret or this data to other part? If it's okay, we can share. But if it's not okay, we are not supposed to share because we have no permission. My advice, we are supposed to make people responsible to their data. If people have control over their information and know how it's going to be used and how it's going to be protected, they'll trust in more the system. And this trust will make people to be more responsible, and the system will be fair and secure. To sum up, I can add this. We need to be open about how data is going to be used, and by asking their permission, if it's okay to share. This will make people to be more responsible about their own data, and this will make the system to be fair and secure by making people engage in their own data. And the issue of data is very crucial. We need to have control from the beginning, from the process of taking it, how it's going to be stored and how it's going to be shared. This will make the system to be more confidential and secure.
Okay, that marks the end of our today's session. It was episode 2, where we were talking about ethics, transparency, and accountability in the use and protection of personal health data. We were with Miss Vivian and Mr. Henley, who did a very great, fantastic work in this session. I welcome again to the next episodes. This is Dr. Ali Kamila. Bye-bye.